Media.com news as we head toward the New Year weekend. It's a time to let your hair down, especially on New Year's Eve. Sheridan Media's Floyd Whiting has some tips for your celebration.
New Year's Eve is a celebration of hope and new beginnings while reflecting and learning from experiences over the course of the past year. Symbolically, we have collectively made it through the dark. The days will get longer and we can celebrate the optimism of the year ahead. The celebration is also a time when many will consume alcohol and spend time with friends and loved ones. According to the American Addiction Centers, when it comes to the holidays, the period that starts before Christmas and ends on New Year's Day accounts for some of the highest incidents of binge drinking and related public health problems. Chief of the Sheridan Police Department, Travis Koltiska, said that driving under the influence is the most preventable and prevalent risk to public safety in the city of Sheridan. This year, make a plan to get home safely before beginning the night's events. Often, that will mean a designated driver or the use of a taxi. The City of Sheridan also operates the Safe Rides program. The City of Sheridan partnered with the City County Liquor Dealers Association, ASAP, and Sheridan Taxi to gather funding and resources to get the program off the ground. In its infancy, the program initially provided around 100 rides a month. The program has expanded significantly and now provides around 400 rides a month at a cost of approximately $45,000 a year. It is also sound advice to know one's limits. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, alcohol-induced deaths in the 65 and older population have been increasing since 2011 and rose more than 18% from 2019 to 2020. And despite the folklore, there's no scientifically proven technique to curing a hangover, and reactions to the effects of alcohol are as varied as the people. With temperatures fluctuating throughout the day, ice has become part of the landscape here in Sheridan. Remember to watch your step during the New Year's celebrations. From your Sheridan Media Newsroom, I'm Floyd Whiting.
Well, appearing on Sheridan Media's Public Pulse program, Sheridan Dog and Cat Shelter Operations Manager Cindy Pop and dog trainer Marianne Eccles brought along a senior dog who is available for adoption at the shelter. Adopting a senior dog comes with some advantages, according to Pop and Eccles. One of those advantages, personality type, whether active or more at a homebody type. There are multiple breeds from dogs for most every type of person.
So with an older dog, you already know kind of what their personality is going to be. You know what their quirks are. So with puppies in the shelter, you don't always know their genetics, and you don't know the quirks they're going to have when they're older, because part of that is their genetics, some of their quirks. So with an older dog, if they don't like other dogs, or if they don't like cats, or if they don't like children, you're already going to know most of that.
Eccles is owner and operator of the Unleashed Foundation. She trains dogs for the shelter to be better prepared for placement with a new permanent home. She says one advantage to adopting a senior dog involves separation anxiety, a behavior in some dogs that causes them to misbehave or even cause damage to property when the owner leaves for a period of time.
Usually dogs from the shelter that are senior dogs don't have the separation anxiety because they've gone through that. And so many shelter dogs have been in more than one home. Mm-hmm. And so they're not so attached to one individual that they are that upset when they leave.
And you can find out more with that story on our website today. Today, Sheridan Media's Aaron Palmer continues his look back at the top stories for 2022 for Johnson County.
Today, we look back at Johnson County's top stories during the last year as we focus on July through September of 2022. A man who attended a Buffalo City Council meeting in July was arrested after the meeting in front of City Hall for his behavior and transported to the Criminal Justice Center to be processed. Joshua Waits became agitated during the meeting. The conversation moved outside and escalated to the point where he was finally arrested. Waits was later charged with breach of peace and interference with a peace officer. Former Buffalo City Attorney Dennis Curvin was sworn in as the city's new attorney at a city council meeting in August. Dennis Curvin was appointed to take the place of former city attorney Ben Curvin, who resigned that position to accept appointment by Governor Mark Gordon to be the new judge for the 4th District Court. The driver of a semi-tractor trailer was killed in a wreck on Highway 16 west of Buffalo in August. Javier Cordoso Riez, 47, of Katy, Texas, was driving the tractor trailer down Highway 16 in Mosier Gulch and was unable to slow the truck and trailer down, failing to negotiate a turn just past the runaway truck catch system. The tractor trailer rolled, tipped over the guardrail, and continued down a rocky embankment into the bottom of Mosier Gulch, coming to rest near Clear Creek. Cardoso Riez was pronounced dead at the scene. A 3,000-acre fire in Johnson County began on Sunday, August 21st off of Tipperary Road southeast of Buffalo. The fire was burning in sagebrush and grass on lands owned by the Christians, HEPS, the Bureau of Land Management, and some state and federal lands. The TW fire southeast of Buffalo was listed as 100% contained, controlled, and out as of August 25th. The Buffalo Chamber of Commerce hired Pam Day as the new membership coordinator over the summer. Day said the chamber board continues to move forward with developing partnerships and keeping communication open with the Johnson County Tourism Association and JOCO First. And those are the top stories in Johnson County from July through September of 2022. We will have the top stories for the next few months tomorrow. For Sheridan Media News, I'm Aaron Palmer reporting.
And news and notes from the city of Sheridan, 2022, a busy year for projects in the city. Sheridan Media's Ron Richter has details.
Street repairs and road work garnered a lot of attention this past year in Sheridan. Mayor Rich Bridger highlighted some of the street maintenance and road projects that occurred in 2022.
We did a ton of crack seal this last summer. We did 53,000 linear feet of crack seal. We did a lot of rotomill and overlay, especially around by the junior high area. And then everybody knows the East Fifth Corridor. We put new lighting in, new green space, sprinkler systems. It's not quite done yet, but we're going to finish it up in the spring, and it'll be a beautiful street to come into Sheridan on. And then also we installed that light there at the 5th Street and Sheridan Avenue, which really helped with traffic control.
In an effort to increase energy efficiency, all of the windows at Sheridan City Hall were replaced.
We did that with Wyoming Association of Municipalities / Wyoming County Commissioner Association, $100,000 loan at 0% interest for 10 years. And then we also did a lot of sewer. We did over 3,125 feet of sewer inspection, rehab, lining, cleaning, root cleaning.
Bridger also discussed parks and recreation.
We did a lot of work out at the Gateway Park. We extended the pedestrian pathway by 7,400 feet. We added a bridge out there so people could cross the creek. Down at Kendrick Park, I redid the band shell. The ice cream stand, we extended the pad out front so people had a little more room. We put a big canopy over the entryway so people could get out of the sun and added some very nice planters. As far as the pool is concerned in Kendrick Park, we completed our 35% design, and hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll start construction for the Kendrick Park pool in 2024 and 2025.
We'll hear more from Mayor Bridger in a future story about some of the city's plans for 2023. I'm Ron Richter, Sheridan Media News.
Sheridan County Commission has voted to adopt the revised County Emergency Operations Plan as recommended by County Emergency Management Coordinator Jesse Ludicus. He explained more about that revised plan.
We had a contractor come in and assist with the full rewrite of the Emergency Operations Plan, which hadn't been rewritten for many, many years. There'd been quite a few updates, but just not a full rewrite. So we really have a document that we worked really hard on to make it a much more user-friendly document that is hopefully something that we can be proud of and continue to use in the coming years to prepare for and respond to any kind of emergency or disaster within the community.
The plan is complete and will be available on the County Emergency Management website once it becomes published. Memorial Hospital will soon upgrade its emergency department as well as improve the mental care of some patients. Last month, the Wyoming State Loan and Investment Board awarded $5.9 million grant to the hospital to develop an emergency psychiatric assessment, treatment, and healing and crisis stabilization unit to serve the Sheridan County region. The hospital is currently working on the rest of the funding for the $12.8 million project. 2 weeks ago, the SLIB board awarded another grant to the hospital in the amount of $480,000 for work on the emergency department triage, which categories of patients based on the severity of their injuries and in order in which multiple patients require care and monitoring. Hospital President Mike McCafferty says The hospital had submitted 4 applications to the SLIB board, and getting the top 2 items on the list approved was good, considering all the requests the board had to consider in that latest meeting.
There was a couple $100 million worth of applications, so there's a lot of worthy projects out there, and the SLIB board had its hands full in making sure that they did a nice job of distributing those funds across the state in a way that they felt was meritorious, certainly, and aligned with Treasury guidance, but also impacted communities in a positive way.
The Wyoming football team concludes its 2022 season again tomorrow in the Arizona Bowl against Ohio University. Although the Cowboys will be considered to be the home team at the game, they won't have the home game feel to it, both in terms of location and the voice that's heard over the PA. Jack Noakes, who had been the PA announcer for UW Cowboy football for the last 41 years, turned off his microphone after the last game in Laramie last month and says he took the job initially in hopes of landing a permanent radio play-by-play position with the University of Wyoming athletic program. Noakes said after seeing his share of great victories, heartbreaking losses, and just about everything else there is to see, it's time to pass the torch.
I was able to win the Sheridan YO.
It's good that somebody else gets a shot at it. I always have felt like there's always someone out there that's better than you are, and give them a chance to see. I think change is good, and I think it'll be good for the university.
With the holiday season just about over, scammers will soon turn to their post-holiday tricks to try to get your money. Sheridan Media's Kevin Coyle has more.
The Wyoming AARP is alerting senior citizens of 3 scams that are common around this time of year. The first is the credit repair scam, as tricksters try to pounce on the fact that you may have spent more money during the holidays than you should have, or you may have made it a goal in 2023 to do a better job managing your debt. Scammers say if you provide a fee up front to them, they'll take care of things for you. They may also try to get you to stop talking with your creditors. Another scam involves asking for a favor. You might get an email request from someone disguised as your boss, a coworker, a friend, or a community leader asking for help in getting last-minute gifts or helping a family in need. The scammer requests you get gift cards and that you give them the card numbers afterwards. After that, the scammer has the money, and the so-called intended recipients get nothing, and you lose your money. The third scam involves your utility bill. Scammers are counting on the fact that you probably used a lot of electricity with holiday lights at your place, or your gas or electric heater worked overtime the past 2 weeks in light of the recent weather. The Wyoming AARP says if you get a surprise call, email, or visit from someone who says they work for a utility company and are asking for immediate money, do not engage them and contact your utility company directly. You can see tips on how to deal with these and other scams through a link within this story at SheridanMedia.com. I'm Kevin Coyle for Sheridan Media News.
And for the latest news, weather, sports, photos, streaming video, and audio, go to our website, SheridanMedia.com. I'm Trevor Jackson. You're up to date.